right, a fantastic film, very controversial guy, but it's all good stuff. Got that great clip ready? You do? All right, I appreciate you, Marvin. Let's do it. Good afternoon. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500 here in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida. Today's topic is the film Private Parts. Now, before we get on to Private Parts, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're asking you nicely, and YouTube has told us, make sure you ask them. So we're asking you to take a second and please go bumping and subscribe. We appreciate you, and we appreciate our loyal subscribers. Now, let's get on to this film, Private Parts. Private Parts was released in 1997, directed by Betty Thomas, starring Howard Stern, Robin Quivers, and Mary McCormick. Now, the basic story is this. It's about the struggles and the rise to fame and success of radio DJ, shock jock as he's called, Howard Stern. And we get to see his struggles and what he goes through, the bad choices he made, the good choices he made, all these things that makes it very interesting. And Howard Stern co-wrote this film, and of course he plays himself in the film. What a great opportunity and a great job he did. Now, we've got a clip. We're not going to waste no time. We got a great clip of Howard Stern at work in the film as a disc jockey and some of the content he puts out there for the public. And because it's kind of a, well, how do I say this, a sexual nature, we are going to say viewer discretion advised. One more time, viewer discretion advised. Are you ready? You're ready. Are you ready, Marvin? Marvin is ready. All right, Marvin, let's do it. Roll the clip.
This is an exciting day for us here in the studio because we have a stage star with us. This is Donna Porter with us on the show, and she's here to talk about life in the theater. And Donna, I don't know if you know this, but our own news guy, Ross Buckingham, actually has some theater experience as well. Don't you, Ross? Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I once did some summer stock.
I know you're very, very proud of your summer stock experience. When you went on stage the very first time, did you ever get nervous?
No, I was quite comfortable.
I see. It's very interesting.
Then, in 1926, General Sarnoff formed NBC Radio, America's first network.
I guess you could say I was a little nervous the first time I was ever on stage with a 12-inch kielbasa.
Now, why is that?
Can I show you?
Sure. I think we'd like to see what you have. When we like to see
Right now, you're getting a look at a live broadcast of the Howard Stern Show.
That's about 13 inches. And you're licking whipped cream off a kielbasa, and you're putting it in your mouth, and you're jamming the kielbasa all the way down your throat. Oh, my God, look at that. The entire kielbasa is going down. She has swallowed an entire 13-inch kielbasa. Look at that. A full 13 inches, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. You gotta love that.
Get a hold of Donna Porter. Find out where she's located at. Get her manager, her agent, somebody. Let's get her on Breaking News 500. I can use her on this show. But we're back on? Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a second. We're just discussing some important Breaking News 500 stuff for future projects. Let's get back on to Private Parts. What do you think about that clip? Woo! Was that wild or what? You see, this is what makes Howard Stern such a success, because he's controversial, he's entertaining, he takes chances, he takes risks. That's what makes it such a great show, and people watch him. Now, the film did great. They had a budget of $28 million. They did $41.2 million at the worldwide box office. They gave it an R rating because of the sexual content, and they got two awards and 5 nominations. So they had a lot of success with Private Parts. Tiny Tim had an appearance in this film, and it was his last film appearance. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple months before this film was released. And Howard Stern, Robin Quivers, and Fred Norris were so busy working the morning show 5 days a week that they had to make time for the film. So they were really working like crazy between the morning show and the movie. Now, because Howard Stern is the star of this film, and he also co-wrote the film, he figured he could improvise pretty much the whole movie like he does his morning shows. Well, that doesn't always work. The producer, Ivan Rittman, called him aside and said, look, Howard, we have a script. You're going to follow the script. You're not going to improvise this whole movie. So Howard Stern had to learn his lines like the rest of the actors. He might have improvised a little here and there, but he had to learn his lines. Now, there's 7 dirty words in this film that Howard Stern was told he cannot use. And those words were recreated by comedian George Carlin. You got to love George Carlin. And in movies, you know, it's casting. In real estate, it's location, location, location. But in films, movies, it's casting, casting, casting. You want to get the right person for the part, that's believable, that looks the part, can act the part, understands the part. And originally they were going to go with Julia Louis-Dreyfus for the part of Allison, Howard Stern's wife. But she wanted to spend time with the family, which I understand, which was kind of good in a way because that opened the doors for Mary McCormick to play the part. Now, when she auditioned for Betty Thomas, she didn't really want the part in this film. She wanted to meet Betty Thomas because she thought, well, she's a good director. I'd like to meet her, and this might open up the doors for other parts in other films. But Betty Thomas wanted her for that part and said, look, why don't you listen to Howard Stern's radio show? We'll meet Howard, see what you think. If you feel the same way, I'll get someone else. If not, I want you for the part. Well, she did that, became a fan of the show. She liked Howard, and she did the part. And I think she was perfectly cast, myself, for the part of Allison in this film. They were thinking about Jeff Goldblum for the part of Howard Stern. Now, I don't get that, because why even go with somebody else? You got the real guy. If he's not dead or he's not sick, put him in the film. It's his story, you know. Well, for whatever reason, they were thinking of Jeff Goldblum, but Howard Stern came in. Jeff was out, which I'm glad that, hate to say it, Jeff's a good actor, but we don't need him. We got the real guy. And Jenna Jameson played the part of Mandy. She's an adult film actress, and she kind of crossed over to regular films for this, and she did a fantastic job. Overall, it's a great film. It's very entertaining. Great story about his rise to fame and success as a crazy disc jockey and radio personality. Now we got a special viewer reviews. No, not viewer reviews. Yeah, user reviews, not critic reviews, user reviews. I'm going to put Marvin back to work because we got some great reviews I think you'll get a kick out of this film. User reviews. All right, Marvin, are you ready? You know what I'm going to ask for. Drum roll, please. Thank you, Marvin. Now, folks, I've got 2 good and 2 bad. So we'll give you the good reviews first, and then we'll give you the bad reviews. Let's see what people have to say about Private Parts. Okay, the first review is, I was never a fan of Howard Stern, but I love this movie. Good review. Next review was, excellent look at the life of everybody's favorite shock jock, Howard Stern. I love the Stern's movie, Private Parts. Wait a second, that didn't come out right. Kind of funny. Comedian, huh? That guy's a comedian. Now we got the bad reviews. This guy's brutal. Are you ready? Bad wig, bad acting, old balding ugly Howie decided to put on a bad wig, phone in an embarrassing audition in this film of his life. The movie is terrible. Boy, that guy's brutal. All right, the next bad review is, it's all just an act. Let's make this one thing perfectly clear to everyone. I was not a Howard Stern fan before the movie, and I am not a Howard Stern fan after the movie. Well, there's some brutal reviews there. You can see the film on Amazon, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, I'm sure a few other places. Put down in the comments what your thoughts are about this film. What's your favorite scene? There's so many great scenes. What's your overall, thoughts of this movie? I hope you enjoyed this look back on Private Parts, released in 1997, starring Howard Stern, Robin Quivers, Mary McCormick, and Fred Norris. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve S.H. Walters. Have a great day.